So Star Citizen, we've all heard of it, right? It's the game that cost $500 million and is yet to be finished. It's the most realistic spaceflight simulator on planet Earth. Not only do the devs want it to look like real life, they think it can become real life. Players call it the Verse, and the developers think it could become an almost metaverse-like place where possibly tens of millions of players will call it home and have almost no reason to leave. These aren't my words, but the words of Star Citizen's community director, Tyler Wilkins. If you're a sci-fi nerd, a space cadet, or a flight aficionado, something about this game has probably already grabbed your attention as it did mine. And until recently, I was unable to play Star Citizen because I'm mainly a console gamer. And although I built my PC during the great GPU crisis of the early 20s, meaning I have just an average graphics card, I still thought it would be worth trying this title out during its free-to-play week called the Invictus event. So without further ado, let's get into my micro review of Star Citizen. And why a micro review, you might ask? Well, I'll get into that a little later. First off, I want to talk about the best part of the game, which are the ships, the immersion, and the world that you get to play in. I think this is the part that really grabs gamers by the balls and drags them into the verse. The ships. They are masterfully crafted, and they look downright incredible. Even on my old GTX 1650, the attention to detail cannot be understated, both on the interior and exterior. The lights, the landing gears, the sounds. The interior light panels allow you to change the lighting inside your ship. You can open up panels to look at your upgrades. Flying one of these ships is truly a breathtaking, one-of-a-kind experience. Next, let's talk about the controls, because the controls are really fucking awesome in this game. They give you all the options you'd ever want, and not only do they give you lots of control options, they've done a really good job of being able to control the ship with a mouse. The wheel controls your rate of speed, and it really allows you to nail realistic landings, and I loved its implementation. I can't even imagine how great it is to fly one of these ships with a real good PC and a joystick. It must be just absolutely incredible. The world you get to explore is also amazing. The lighting is the most beautiful lighting I've ever seen in a game. When the sunlight is peeking over the horizon of a planet as you're cruising through the upper atmosphere, how the light gets harsh when you go for a spacewalk. I mean, even the lighting on the inside of the ships are absolutely beautiful. It's so cinematic and lifelike, it's hard to explain. And keep in mind, my GPU is not really up to snuff, and it's still amazing. And the fact that you can take off from a planet, fly into space, and then get out of your cockpit, walk around the ship, do a little spacewalk. These are things that us space flight sim nerds have been dreaming about for years. And the fact that there's no loading screen it's amazing, and it makes the game as immersive as it can possibly be. There are also 324 planets that you can land on and explore, and I have to say, of the planets I visited, I was quite taken back by the level of detail. Grassy planets, blue crystal planets, all shapes and sizes. It's quite incredible how amazing they all look considering their size and level of detail. I don't quite understand how they do it, but it's definitely something very special. If you guys like the content, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. I try to post one review every week, and any support is greatly appreciated. So we've gone over how incredible this game looks and feels, but how are the missions? Well, they aren't perfect, let's just say that. I tried about 20 missions and I could only complete 3 to 5 of them. Most of the time, it just seemed like the assets were missing or ghosting. I'd accept a mission to go find a missing crew. I'd find the crashed ship, investigate the crash looking for bodies to confirm their demise, and I could never find a single body. Or I'd accept a mission to clean up some trash off a planet, but it could only ever find 4 of the 5 crates I needed to complete it. I'd see the marker for the 5th crate, but it wasn't there. Was I doing something wrong? Was the mission glitched out? I really wanted to finish these missions, but I myself was on my own quest to get a taste of this game in a relatively short period of time. And that's kind of where this game has a lot of work left to do. It's such a massive undertaking that it's going to take time to iron out these problems. But for someone like me who has gamer attention deficit disorder, meaning I like to jump from game to game, experiencing as many games as I can, reviewing as many games as I can, Star Citizen was a challenge in that aspect because I kept getting set back by things that were out of my control. but it feels so very close to being something I could spend a lot of time playing. It's everything I want in a game, yet it feels broken in some areas, enough to push me away from buying it right now. I also experienced the game in sub 20 frames per second, which wasn't too bad, but it was not the best. So for now, I think I'm going to leave Star Citizen on the shelf to revisit at a later date when I get a more powerful GPU. Because honestly, even with the broken missions, I still think that Star Citizen is worth buying. Just the flying experience alone is worth the money. If Battlefield 2042 could charge 100 Canadian fucking dollars for a completely unfinished pile of dog shit, I think this game at around $70 with a nice ship is not a bad deal at all. I really hope Star Citizen becomes everything we want in a space sim. It has the ships, it has the world, it has the environment. I think give it a couple years, we could be looking at something absolutely unstoppable. This review was more of an overview than a full review. Hopefully in the future, I can make a full-blown review. I'd like to give this title a little more time to get its shit together. That being said, please like and subscribe if you've got anything from these videos. This has been Eli with Rage Review. Take care, guys.